explain to the group some of your past, those who did not know the work you've been doing, but we're interested in what the grandmothers have to say to us today concerning our responsibility as light workers, what time it is in the earth for us, and what we ought to be doing, but whatever they have to say, we'll receive it very graciously.
Well, first of all, I just wanted to open with thank you very much for inviting us. Karen is here as well as myself, and we're always excited to be united with our family there in Atlanta, and especially at a time like this that is just so incredible in terms of where we are as a human family. And I know that you have been studying and experiencing forgiveness on so many levels with the program that you've been involved in. Program is really not an appropriate word, but a process would be more like it. And, you know, forgiveness is at the very core of the work of the grandmothers right now, because their work, and what I'm going to do, Nana, if we don't think we need any additional introduction, I'll just go right into a channel. I'll set it up, and then I'm just want to open myself and allow the grandmothers to come forward and deliver whatever message they feel is most appropriate. So, do I have permission to go in that direction, or is there something we should do beforehand?
Yeah, permission. Continue, please. Thank you.
Okay. So the grandmothers, I will say this before we go into the channel, the core of their work right now is helping humanity to shift from the little I to the big I, which is shifting from separation to unity consciousness. And in past teachings from the grandmothers, the only way we get to unity is when we are able to engage ourselves at our higher conscious selves. In other words, where our soul journey, the very purpose for which we are here, begins to come forward and melds into who we are experiencing ourselves to be and what we are then living into. And that will probably make more sense. I'll leave it to them to clarify. Currently in our experience, the collective experience of humanity in this third density or third dimension, as it's often referred to, humanity at an individual level, which is the I, often gets confused. And the confusion happens around separation consciousness. The small I is what the third dimension is all about. In the third dimension, you're here to come face to face with who you are as the small I being basically our ego, our story, who we believe ourselves to be, and all that goes into the makings of that, which unfortunately for many people, for all people actually, includes the hurt, the pain, as well as the triumphs. It becomes a part of the story that gets carried forward. In third density, the I then has the opportunity to mature, if you will. When the small I, or as the small I matures, what happens is the higher conscious, or the soul purpose behind the experience of that separation. And remember now, separation is the only place that the small I can fit into. So as the small I matures in separation, it comes face to face with its infinite self, which now brings it to the collective I, the I am that I am. In that space, the only barrier for movement forward is the capacity of the human being to release shame, blame, guilt, and all that is attached to that, which often means releasing our story, allowing ourselves to heal through all those experiences, recognizing them as part of our maturation process. So remember, third density is all about the full expression of the little I. What is happening now, and what creates the tension that we call ascension tension, is that there's a shift happening from third density actually to fifth density. And the only way you get to fifth density is to pass through what's called the fourth dimension or fourth density, which is actually a bridge. And in this bridge space is the opportunity for the little I to come face to face with itself, which means to recognize itself beyond the story, and thus beginning the transition from the little I, which is based on the foundation of separation, into the big I, which is now based upon unity consciousness, the recognition that there is no separation in the universe, that we are all one, and we're all expressing one consciousness of evolution. As we are expressing that consciousness of evolution, what is happening then is we begin to shift and heal out of the old story and begin to evolve into a new story where we no longer are bound by artificial barriers. We recognize diversity as the creation process. We even see within ourselves the opportunity to create, to manifest, to be the co-creator of the universe as it is evolving. And so as we are shifting from third density into fourth density, our awareness of who we are expands, very much like the Big Bang theory of the universe. Well, it's the Big Bang theory now of the innerverse. And what we should say is the Big Bang experience of the innerverse, as the little I now yields to the big I, because it cannot exist in a space of unity consciousness. There is no place for separation. Everything is expressing as one. Therefore, then, the boundaries that we create in third density that says, you did this to me, all of a sudden now is expressing itself as, wow, here is this huge garden of diversity. And all the experiences in this garden of creation, of diverse experience, diverse everything, are a part now of reminding me of who I am and whose I am. What that literally means is it brings us into the breath and life source of the I am. God expressing as us. God expressing and using us to bring clarity, to bring focus, to bring awareness of those things that are fundamental to God's expression, which is love. And that's God by any name. I use that reference. We often use that reference because that is how in third density you relate. Because again, it's about separation. Forgiveness brings us out of separation and into unity consciousness, where there is no God beyond the self, because the self is God, because there is no self, so everything is expressing and experiencing itself as God. And so the limitations that come from those things that kept us locked in third density no longer, they just don't exist. So the challenge the grandmothers, the Council of Light, and all of your guardian spirits and the guardian spirits here, the challenge that we have with humanity at this very important time in the evolution of humanity is to get humanity to believe that it is God expressing. You are God expressing. When you stay stuck in the guilt, shame, blame, hurt, and pain of the past, you are not present to the moment where truly the gift is. It's not just humanity that is evolving. It is the entire universe that is now evolving to a higher expression of itself. As that happens, our goal, our job, is to take as many through this window of opportunity as we can. And we know that as we shift through this window, as we shift the consciousness of humanity through this window, that it only takes a few to shift and transcend all people. So whenever we have an opportunity to express ourselves in the midst of those such as yourself who are the seed of possibility for the infinite expression of the Creator in its highest truth, which is love, which is unity. Whenever we have an opportunity to share with you, that is the most sacred moment that we have co-created together. There is no accident that we're here together on this call, in this moment. You have done so much work in your own healing. Understand, it's so easy in third density for everything that is evolving around you to keep you locked in your story, because that is your inward self projecting itself out into the world as who you are. It is the lie. You are not that story. You are not that story. You are divine. Can you believe it becomes the question. Can you grasp the truth of that within your being to be able to then shift out of your story? It all comes down to that. Can you believe that you are the most important part of the creation of the universe? In this moment, can you believe that? Look at yourselves and say, can I believe that? And if the group can shake its head and say yes, then you've already made that ascension path for others to follow. You've even made the ascension a path for when the small I tries to pull you back. You've seen the light. There is no going back. Why is this important? This is the most crucial time, not only in the history of the planet Earth, but in the history of the cosmos. Everything is creation. Everything is life. Everything is life. Life evolving. Life evolving. We have an opportunity for things to evolve into nothingness or into everythingness. Because there is no separation. Either we all get there together, or where we're going completely shifts and we begin anew. That is also life. Life, chaos. Life, chaos as you express it. But chaos is order. We want to shift. We have the opportunity to work together from our side as well as third dimension, all the way through all dimensions. Everyone's called up, working together, because we believe that the unified field of consciousness beyond time and space can allow the shift of all life to its highest expression of divine source. The idea that God had manifests in truth. So for us, for your soul path, for Audrey and Karen and all the people in our lives, all of us collectively, this is why we